member of our Westlake Village Art Guild, Belen Islas. How long, Belen, have you been a member with the Guild?
Not too long, probably 2 years, almost 3 years. Yes, so almost a new member.
Great. Well, we're thrilled to have you, and thank you for doing this during such a crazy time when, but we won't go into that. So anyway, welcome.
No, thank you for having me, and welcome to my studio. So I'm really honored to have you all here and to show you my work and all the things that inspire me. So my name is Belen Islas. It's like Helen with a B, so that is easier. And I am currently living in Simi Valley with my husband and 2 little kids. So I want to start by sharing with you how I was introduced to the
Bye-bye, Glenda. Thank you.
Thank you. So it was maybe 2.5 years ago or so. I went to the Newberry Park Library, and it was a great surprise to see that there was a gallery, and the artists invited me to join the guild. So I did. So far I have been part of a couple of competitions and shows, but I think the best part of being part of this community is to connect with other artists, with other members, and to hear your stories and to get inspired by your art. I think I find so much, and it fills me up and inspires me and to create more work and challenge me. So I think that is amazing. So I feel really honored to be part of this group. So thank you. And I think I want to start by telling you about my work. I think if you have to find a label for my work, probably is figurative. My most recent work is like kind of figurative. And some people will also consider like magical realism, because I have a lot of fantasy and magic into my work. But a friend actually not too long ago asked me to define myself as an artist. And I told her that if I have to define myself, probably I would say that I am a storyteller, and that I use a paintbrush to tell my stories. So most of my work is about a main character, and then I tell a story around it, and I want to leave some blank spaces for people to create their own stories too. So that is how I could label myself, right? But I think I also want to share with you my life story and my artistic path. So, and I think the two things are mixed together. I really believe that life influences art, and what we create really transform our life in a way. So in my case, I think there are 3 main big influences in my work now. So the first one is where I was born. So I was born in Mexico, in a really tiny town in the central area of Mexico, probably no more than 300 people. And it was nowhere. So I was surrounded by nature, open spaces, and big skies. So I think that now you can see it in my work constantly. And I think that is probably the main influence. The second one, the second influence was my father. So he was a sculptor, and so I remember growing up in my childhood, just every day was we were pursuing, creating new things, discovering new techniques. I always, like, every day was about pasting and painting and working over ruining my father's work, actually. But I think that was very, I created during that time this passion for always looking for something new. And then when it was time for me to go to college, I moved to Mexico City. In Mexico City, I was studying to be just a business person. I also took some painting and photography classes, and I was part of a young group of artists showing our work around Mexico and Latin America. We had shows in Colombia, Peru, Brazil. It was an amazing experience. And most of that work was photographic and some sculptures. And then a little more than 10 years ago, I moved to the United States, and I tried to create a career in graphic design and also learning English. So my art was kind of put aside a little bit. And then I started to feel nostalgia for Mexico. So I started creating a sculpture. So I want to show you one of them. So this is this kind of fantastical creation. So it is, as you can see, it's kind of like a snake, but the head is kind of like an eagle. So I created many of these sculptures. They are made out of wire and paper, and then acrylic paint. So I created some watercolors and many sculptures during those first years of my life here in this new country. And then life again changed things for me, and a little bit more than 3 years ago, I got pregnant with my daughter, and that was a really, really difficult pregnancy. I spent most of the whole pregnancy in bed. It was really tough, and it was a really dark place, physically and emotionally. So I only could do two things. One was to paint, and the other one was to reflect on my life. And I realized one thing. I realized that if I wanted to be remembered one day, I wanted to be remembered as a creative person. And I knew that my work was the way to connect with others, that I had to do it, that after my pregnancy, I had to really put all that energy and effort into have a professional life as an artist. So that was during those 9 months, I created 28 paintings, and it was all about, it was a message of love to my daughter, of hope, of resiliency. So all those paintings are super colorful. I use like red and green and gold, and this is the declaration of love and life, and just the idea that everything was going to be okay. So this is one of the paintings of that collection, and you can see it's all about motherhood and life. And this is a lady with a bird in her hand, and another little baby in the bird. And so there were 28 paintings, and after my daughter was born, I found a gallery and asked them to give me the opportunity to show that work. And that was my first show in the United States. And it was probably the most important one. I sold half of the paintings that show. So it was really, really, I gained the confidence that I needed and to pursue this path into art. But not just that, I also had the possibility, the ability to connect with other people, to share my story and to share this hope for life and for, you know, these new things and this new life, right? After that, I had another show, and the other paintings, the other half, were sold too. So I was very, very lucky. And everything was going pretty well until the beginning of the year. As you know, COVID-19 changed many things. So at the beginning of the year, I had another show, another collection of paintings, and everything was going well. I had planned to open my own gallery, my pop-up gallery in Los Angeles, to test the market, and then everything was canceled. As you know, and then another show in Mexico was canceled, all the shows actually. So what I did is just I started creating more paintings, but this time was all about dreams and finding that positive side of things. I also spent a lot of time on showing my work now online, using social media, and I'm also connecting with all my collectors by sending them postcards of my new work and letters. So that really works well. So I'm still keeping my work in their minds, and as a business size is that the business size of my work is working that way. So, but I'm connecting with all those people that now are my friends. So a few months ago, I received a letter from one of my collectors from San Francisco, and she wrote this amazing letter to me, and sharing how she feels about one of the paintings that she bought and how she finds this feeling of hope when she sees us. And she made this little kind of mobile. So it is like butterflies and bubbles for me, just as a reminder, because most of my work have butterflies. So I think that connection with other people, oh my God, that is just the most precious thing, you know, for me at least.
So can I ask you, how did you collect your list of clients or mailing list?
Okay, so what is how I started? So obviously in my website, I have this pop-up window when people can sign in. So I get a few of them, but the main way that I have found new collectors and keep this information has been through art fairs. Mm-hmm. I have been part of art fairs. So I always have a notebook and ask them, please sign in if you want to hear about my work, give me your email, and if you want to receive my postcards, please give me your address. And so I do that way. I have run now like 800 people in my list through that, and it works amazingly. I think it's just having this personal touch. One owner of a gallery told me the art business is a business of a long lead, high touch, right? You always are in contact you have to be always in the mind and constant contact with people to really develop that relationship.
Well, good
So
for you for doing that. It's a lot of work to
it is a lot of
be a
work.
successful artist.
But you know, it's working.
Bill, and one quick question. I know Paul Bertin asked you what medium you were using when you did the book for your daughter.
What acrylic paint mainly? Yes, because it doesn't smell, and it is easy to work with. You know, if you are at the hospital, I create these kind of tiny containers of paint, and so you can take them everywhere, and so it is pretty easy. And the main reason is that it doesn't smell at all, so I can work with that. Yes.
Good.
So I think I want to show you a little bit of what I'm working on right now. So I can show you my studio, my notes. So this is the screen that I'm working on. And so here's where usually all the new ideas are born. And usually, as you can see, this wall here is mainly blank because when I'm thinking about new ideas, I don't want to be interrupted by other images. And on the side here I have, I test new ideas in these little small boards, and I create new concepts in these tiny like boards. And right now I'm working on trying to improve my skills by being more realistic. So those are those paintings. But this is my window in the mornings. The light from that window is amazing, so I can work well. And right now I'm working on this heart sculpture. It is for the General Hospital of San Francisco Foundation. And it is a project called Hearts in San Francisco. And so they sent me that, so I'm painting it just with this design here. And let's hope that they make a lot of money with that. And I'm also working on this other project. This is, I'm painting a utility box. And this is a design that I'm going to work on, that I'm going to use probably.
Where is the utility box?
It's going to be in Palms, in Los Angeles, in the Palms neighborhood. It's going to be in Venice, and I don't remember the other street.
And how did you get commissioned to do that?
So there was an application, a submission, and I sent that, and they accepted it.
Gosh, good for you.
Thank you. And so the new project, my personal project now, is about dreams. So what I do, I create around 25, 40 ideas or sketches at the same time based on one idea, in this case, dreams. And I do a lot of like super simple sketches. Like, for example, one day I had this dream, right? And you can see it was just a few minutes it took me to make this drawing. So I write just the date and what is it about, the colors that I think are important, and then when I think it's a good idea to develop, I transform it into a painting. So I'm using acrylic paint on board in that one. This is also part of the same Dreams series, and I think this is my favorite painting so far. because it has a lot of meaningful images. Like for example, this, can you see it? It's like a cocoon for a butterfly that she's holding in her hand. And then she has this kind of translucent and gold leaf butterfly and a mask. And this was also another dream of mine. So I'm just working on that. This is the most recent one. I just finished this one 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And it is also about dreams and masks and symbols. Another dream. And I just finished this one last month. And it is also about masks, and I'm trying to improve my techniques with working with kind of fabrics and folds and things like that.
And
So
what do you spell in
this
for your references?
Sorry?
What do you use for your reference? Because the people are very well drawn and painted. So
Thank you. So yes, I use, after making the first sketch, I look for references. And I have some of them are my own pictures. Some of them I go and buy some of the paintings, or sometimes I find free, pictures, and then I put them together and create this new image. But it is a little bit hard sometimes because some of the references have the shadows the wrong way, or things like that. So when I try to develop the concept, it looks a little bit weird. So I have to rethink the whole idea. But yeah, that is how it works. And what else do I have to share with you? Okay, so one important thing that I want to share with you is that 20% of all my sales go to this organization called Plant a Tree, because for me it's really, really important to help our planet and the environment. So they plant one tree for $1. So I'm constantly just trying to plant as many trees as possible.
oh, that's fabulous.
So I think that helps. And what else? Oh, I'm working with a jewelry designer. So this is my design. I don't know if you can see it. So it is a bird, and it is based on one of my paintings. So I create a design, and he executes it for me. So we are working together. We are making a team, and we are working together in this new line of design. So I think that's it for me. I wanted to show you the other side of my studio, because as I told you, I have 2 kids, and half of the time I'm working in my living room because I'm watching my kids, but the internet connection is not good. So I don't want you to just, see nothing. But I hope you could, you see some of the things that I'm working on, and my inspiration and everything. So please let me know if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer them.
Great. Well, thank you. And you are the perfect person to be inspired by, to get involved in all these different things, and to start applying and submitting our work. And you are the perfect example that it pays off to stay on top of it. Some of us, like me, have gotten so lazy. I love to paint, but I don't like dealing with the marketing. So it's, unless people come knocking down my door, I'm not going to sell any artwork.
I think marketing is also very important for our career, because I think all those opportunities came from making connections and applying for things. And I think that also makes me challenge what I'm doing and say, okay, I want to be better. I want to be selected. It's one time don't get selected. I just have to think, okay, what is what I'm not doing right, or how can I improve something? So I think it's part of the process for me, just makes me better and everything.
Yes. Well, I would love to have everybody can unmute and turn their videos on if you'd like to ask some questions for Belen. And we have a few minutes for a little conversation, and then we will let everybody get back to their days.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to, oh good, hey Paul.
Hello, I think it's a very good presentation. Congratulations, Belen.
Thank you, Paul.
Very inspiring.
Thank you. I'm also inspired by all the work that you guys are doing. I think that is so valuable. I think it's always a conversation, right, that we always have, especially between artists.
Well, and definitely we can all learn something from everybody.
Oh, yes, for sure.
I love your whole concept of painting your dreams and what's meaningful to you, instead of I find a cute picture with a cute child on the beach with a cute hat.
No, that is good. Sometimes I love that too, but I think for me right now, I'm in this process. By the way, if you have a dream that you want to share with me, please do. I'm looking for inspiration and for my next painting. So I'm thinking that I'm going to paint around 20. So please send me your dreams.
You could do your next book on dreams.
Yeah, right? Why not?
Yeah, it would be great.
I think painting dreams, or painting smells, or painting sounds, or
Yeah, right? How could, that would be fun to try to paint sounds and, I don't know. That would be a wonderful.
I don't know how to translate that, but yeah, it's an
Yeah.
interesting idea.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I would love
A girlfriend of mine took an abstract class that's exactly what they had to do, was paint a smell or paint a sound or something. And it was interesting, but
Leonardo da Vinci painted air current.
Yeah, that's true.
Air currents and things. He drew air and water currents and things that we don't normally see.
But I think that really is really important to keep us active and creative, because it makes us see things in a different way and transform our perspective, which is, I think, is very important. Sometimes just push ourselves to see something new. I don't know. Yeah.
definitely. Which reminds me, everybody that's on here, Lori Mills, who I don't know if you guys saw her do her studio tour, is kind of doing this same sort of idea in her demo on the 18th. So you might want to all click into that, and we're all going to paint, and we're all going to do some kind of an abstract, and I think it'll be really wonderful for...
Yeah, there I am.
Yeah, Cindy, I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here and to see your beautiful studio. And I was wondering about the names of some of your recent pieces in the Dream series, like the one behind your left shoulder. What is the name of that one?
This one is well, I think I don't remember the name, but it's about connection. So I read this article that in some countries in Asia, there is a red thread that goes into your pinky finger and is connected to the person that is going to be connected the rest of your life, right? So Dana, I was reading, and I kept reading like tons of information about it. I got so passionate about it that that night I had a dream about my grandmother, and she had this kind of red thread going all around her, and then birds started flying, and one of them had this thread connected to it. And I just thought that was so powerful. I had to make that painting. So it is all about connection, but I don't remember right now the name, but the title. But thank you for asking.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And the one behind you?
This one
On the wall with the pink, yeah.
Oh, the pink.
Yeah.
Oh, so that one is really important for me because I'm from Mexico, and in Oaxaca, in the state of Oaxaca, there is a region where women are really the ones that rule the whole town, and they are well known to. So they wear these exotic dresses with gold everywhere, and then rule the town. Right, everything goes through them. It's a in Spanish, it's called matriarchal society. And so I was listening to a song, and one of the ladies that comes from the tribe her name is Layla, and so Layla, that is her name, Layla, and she has this mask of this what is it? Jaguar mask on her head, because that tribe uses these masks in their face, which are warriors. So they used to put their jaguar mask when they go to war. So these women have these signs of jaguars, and so I thought, I had a kind of like a dream that I was going to that place, and it was totally crazy, but I just put the main points in the whole thing. So they have a lot of iguanas. So you see these women with this like around like a almost hat with 5 iguanas around their heads. It's just this amazing, view, and they're so powerful. So I just love them.
What a story.
Yeah, I just think that whole culture is just amazing. Yes.
Indeed.
You know what I love, Belen, is now when we look at your artwork, we will see so much more in it.
Right. I think if we need to talk about each one of the paintings, because I love that you can have your own ideas and put your own stories, but it has some of what I have to say, right? That it is right behind there, and you can see it if you talk to me, but I want to hear what other people have to say and to experience and to discover by themselves. Right? I think
One more question.
Yes.
What is your website?
Is belenislas.com.
Okay.
Yes.
That's easy.
Oh, it's super easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And I love your paintings, your flowers. They're so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I love nature, like you.
Yes, we all do.
Great. Do we have any other questions? Just scream them out. Okay. If not, Belen, I'd love to thank you for a wonderful educational tour today. You were fabulous, and I am so excited now about your artwork and looking at it more. I know you have 3 pieces in our gallery online, so everybody go and look at them, and we look forward to seeing you in the shows and in the future, and
yeah, of course.
Wish you lots of success.
Just thank you for all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, and we will hopefully see you all soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, you're so welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good job. Thank you.